All right, I was finally able to sit down this morning and watch the Nintendo Switch unveiling video on YouTube, and I wanted to give some of my initial thoughts and reactions before the entire internet does or doesn't blow up with this news and the unveiling. Now, a quick preface before I give those thoughts and feelings. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. Not only did I grow up with the company in its heyday, during the golden age of gaming in the 80s and early mid 90s, but I'm of the opinion that when Nintendo does things right, whether it be with hardware or software, that they're untouchable, that they do it better than everybody else combined. Nobody delivers the experiences Nintendo does when they do things right. Now that said, I'm also of the opinion that Nintendo hasn't done much right in the last 16, 17 years or so. It's been a lot of misfires, gimmicks, myopic marketing strategies, things like that. But that's another video for another time. Going into this video, or prior to actually watching it, I had very low expectations for the Nintendo NX, now called the Nintendo Switch. I wasn't expecting Nintendo to even impress me, even in the slightest. I was expecting a complete and total turd. More of this, basically more of the same. The Wii was a disappointment to gamers, at least to gamers. I know that it started a short-lived craze/fad that died off just as quickly as it started, and the Wii U was just even worse. It was awful from start to finish. Now, what I saw today with the Switch was basically more of the same from Nintendo. I didn't get any kind of vibe that this was something different. In fact, I would go so far as to say this came across to me as either a Wii U, a souped-up Wii U with a greater portable range, or a Game Boy Advance, or not, I'm sorry, not a Game Boy Advance, but a 3DS that connects to your TV via an HDMI port. So I have some concerns about the power of the machine. And to be honest, I'm not really impressed by the ability to pick up your, turn off your TV, pick up the console, turn it into a handheld, and go play in the car, the bathroom, my bedroom, whatever. I know I'm not the only one in 2016 that has more than one TV and has multiple computer monitors that can double or function as a TV. So I don't really see the appeal of turning off your TV while you're playing Zelda, Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, or any great third-party title that may or may not be on the Switch, in order to play it on a small handheld. Now, most of the people in the presentation were adults that were playing games, which is fine because most gamers are adults. But when adults leave the house, even gamers, hardcore gamers like myself, that can play 70, 80 hours a week if time permitting. When we travel or when we leave the house, we're driving. You can't play while you're driving. Maybe you're in a McDonald's, maybe you're at any restaurant or anywhere where there's Wi-Fi and you want to play online, maybe you want to do something like that. But generally speaking, console gamers and mobile gamers are two very different audiences, and maybe Nintendo knows that and maybe they don't. I'm not sure, but I think this is a huge misfire. I think it's very it's a novelty, and given the fact that the machine's probably going to be vastly underpowered like the Wii and the Wii U was, I just don't get it. I mean, I'm supposed to spend another $300-400 on a machine because I can take it off my TV and play it on my, play it in another room. My TV is for gaming and for movies. Yeah, I share it with the family. We all utilize it, but when it's time for me to play, or anybody's playing for that matter, or doing something, watching a movie, everybody else goes to another room. Everybody else goes to a computer, gets on their tablet, goes to watch one of the 3 or 5 other TVs that we have in the house. TVs aren't like they used to be, where they're, expensive and cumbersome. They're very, they come in all sizes and all prices. So I know most houses have at least 2 or 3 TVs nowadays. My family has considerably more. And not only that, but we have tablets, we have phones, we have laptops, we have desktop PCs. So I just don't understand the market that Nintendo is trying to target with the Switch. Now the video didn't talk about software. It didn't give any hardware specs, which we kind of don't even need. We know it's not going to skip a generation and be this powerhouse that pushes gaming forward in any kind of meaningful way. And with that said, I don't see the Nintendo Switch being anything but superficial. There was nothing substantial about it. Its entire presentation, its entire selling point is this ability to take your games on the go. And that was kind of what they did with the Wii U as well. I know it was a lot of it was, oh, you have a second screen, which was stupid and useless as well. But, they touted the ability hey, mom wants to watch TV, I don't have to turn off my Wii U. I can just take the tablet and go over to the kitchen table or go up in my room or whatever. I don't know. I don't see gamers, at least the core audience, which Nintendo doesn't really cater to and pretty much just ignores or brushes off as not important. I don't see those types of people, myself included, saying, yeah, I'm going to turn off my 60-inch or 70-inch TV so that I can play Zelda in bed on my 5, 10, 12-inch screen, whatever that thing is, whatever size that thing is going to ends up being. I just think that's really fucking stupid and really pointless. If I can't game on a large screen and with my headphones on or with my surround system going, I wait. Because when I'm not, the times that I can't game or are unable to game, it's because I'm working, I'm taking care of my kids / family, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm sleeping, I'm showering, I'm doing any number of things that we all do in our daily lives that we have to do. There's very, very rarely, even when I'm traveling in the car, even if my wife is driving, am I going to be able to play, or even what I want to play on, a Nintendo game on a tablet. I just don't. I can read my Twitter feed on my phone. I can check Facebook. I can call somebody. I can text somebody. I can engage online on social media. And I just, I don't understand the desire, or even know if it's really there, like Nintendo thinks it is, or is trying to put there, the desire to play on a small screen no matter where you go. I mean, when we go out, when adults travel, we're busy. Aside from maybe a half an hour sitting in a restaurant somewhere. And if I go to a motel, I'll take my console with me. I'm not playing on a mobile device. It's just not happening. So there's a lot that we didn't see or didn't learn today in this unveiling, and I thought the presentation fell short in that regard. We don't know anything about the software, launch titles, launch windows, first year games and whatnot. We don't know, again, how powerful the console is or isn't. Though I'm confident in saying it's not going to be as powerful as the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. It just won't be, even if it's using the same parts. Nintendo machines never seem to run as efficiently as their competitors do, at least generally speaking. So that's my opinion. I know that the gaming media and the press and a lot of the Nintendo pom-pom wavers, cheerleaders, are touting this thing as Nintendo's second coming. Some of them are cautiously optimistic, but the majority of them I see are already declaring victory. And I'm not declaring failure, although I think it's pretty much another turd, and I think that there's going to be a lot of hot buzz around it, a lot of positivity around the console. The news will be spun in a positive light, at least from now until the console's maybe a year old. But when third parties start passing it by, when we get lame ports, and when we have all the same problems that we had with the Wii and the Wii U, meaning gamers, that's when things will change. And I honestly, I think this is probably Nintendo's last console. It's too early for me to say whether or not I'm going to buy a Nintendo Switch. if its only selling point is the ability to go from TV to mobile gaming, and it doesn't offer anything else, anything. If the online experience remains a closed Nintendo-verse system, not interested. If there's going to be long gaps in between AAA titles, and we're going to get one, maybe two if we're lucky per generation, I'm not interested. If it fizzles out after the first or even second year of its life cycle and becomes a dust collector like the Wii and the Wii U did, not interested. And I'm not saying that the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One are good consoles. They're actually two of the more disappointing consoles, I think, in the history of consoles. They arrived vastly underpowered and haven't had the most impressive library of games, comparatively speaking, to other consoles or their predecessors. So we'll see where it goes. When more news comes out and we learn about the games, we learn about the power under the hood. Does it have a hard drive? What kind of storage devices is it going to support? Can we buy digital games? Do we have to buy fucking cartridges, which I will lose and my kids will break? I'm 100% digital on PC and on my consoles. So, and even with movies, I don't buy discs. I haven't in 4 or 5 years. So I'm 100% digital with all of my entertainment media, and I hope Nintendo supports that medium. I'm fairly certain they will. I think that would be even for them, be a big step backwards in terms of tech. But yeah, I'm very underwhelmed. I wasn't put off by it. I'm not angry, like I may become later when I see things that the writing's for me. The writing's been on the wall for a long time. When the Wii U fizzled out and that fad disappeared, and the Wii U came out quickly, and that just pretty much was dead on arrival. The Nintendo NX, or now the Nintendo Switch, was announced just 2 years into the Wii U's life cycle. That's not a good sign. It's not something that really instills confidence in me as a gamer and as a Nintendo fan. I want my Zeldas, I want my Marios, I want all of those, first-party mascot titles and experiences that we've had for the last 30 years. But I want them to be driven by powerful, cutting-edge hardware that allows developers to do new things, and even Nintendo to do new things. Not just, the ability to pick up and play on a second screen, or, waggle my arms around, to bowl or to box. I mean, all of that stuff it's all superficial. None of it's substantial. And the PlayStation and Xbox have their fair share of problems too in those regards. But Nintendo where its competitors fail, Nintendo fails egregiously and on all levels. So we'll see where we go from here. I know that many of you are probably going to disagree with my opinions, and that's fine because it's subjective. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a Nintendo hater, or I don't support any company. I just want good hardware to push good software, and that's it. So as more information comes out, my opinion on the Nintendo Switch may change. I'm leaning towards it being likely that it won't. I think that as time goes on, my negative assessment of the console and Nintendo is not only going to be reinforced, but proven or shown to be true. So until then, we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think.